Oh, Megan, it's Thursday, March 18th, I guess. And we started out talking about the shooting rampage in Atlanta yesterday, and the sheriff, who in a news conference said that the shooter had a bad day. And responding to that. And, you know, again, your co-hosts had a lot of things to say about the topic. Not only the what the man said, but the overall general sort of aesthetic of uh, gun violence reactions in the media, and how people provide cover for straight white guys, usually Christian, and demonize everybody else. And so there was a great discussion about all of that. But your turn in the middle of it, you said you only know how to speak of things in terms of political jargon, and then talked about the spin. So that's the extent of your ability to talk on any subject, is about the PR aspect, what it looks like, how's it going to be received. That means you can't talk about anything at a personal level, how something might actually affect people, as opposed to what the media reaction might be. You can't. You talk only in terms of political ramification and political consequences, which is really about power, right? How does that affect my power? And not at all about how does something help someone? How does something hurt someone? Only how will it be received? Not how can I better help someone understand how they're being hurt, or how they're hurting other people. So that's it. That's the extent of your ability, is to talk in jargon and spin. Then what the fuck are you doing? This is why you call yourself an analyst, I guess. Although most of what you say is not analysis. You're just, spitting out poll information, which is not analysis. It's just data. You're supposed to analyze the data and what that means. There's your political spin and jargon. The spin is actually, how do you frame it so that you don't get in trouble? Instead of having to talk about spin, why don't you actually, believe in something that actually helps people, so it doesn't need to be spun? The biggest thing that the general public is looking for is not political spin or political jargon or political posturing. People are looking for things to actually get better, and for politicians to actually be helping us. There's a reason that Bernie Sanders is so popular, but it's a very similar reason to why Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene are popular. On one side, you've got someone who's actually saying things, this is what people want, this is what people need, and not talking about the political ramification of a Green New Deal or universal health care. Because it's the right thing to do. And they talk about it in practical terms, about how we can pay for it, how it can be achieved, and so people are drawn to that. Yes, this is something helpful. Let's do that. The other side of that spectrum are the other two assholes that we were talking about. We just mentioned, Trump and Green, who basically are just mouthpieces to say all the racist things that people have been wanting to hear and wanting to be able to say. So there's a bad side and a good side. Yes, I'm just saying that the Republicans are bad, the Democrats are good. I just said that. Meaning that on this side of things, talking about Bernie Sanders, he's talking to people without although he is a politician and he understands the political game, he's saying things uh, that might not be uh, that might cause a media stir, which is what your whole you know shtick is about. Uh, Picking things apart and creating misinformation and lies about something that might actually be helpful. So he's trying to say something helpful. They're trying to say things hurtful. But it's they are both popular for a similar reason, because they're not filtering it through a political spin. So that just light bulb moment, I would think, for of honesty from you, that I can only say things in terms of political jargon. So it's no wonder you're such a disaster on this program. And it's no wonder you just rely on talking points um, and and misinformation. Then the next thing you say is you respect authority. When was it, yesterday or the day before, you said, as a Republican deep in your soul, you're skeptical. That's what Republicans do. They're skeptical. So what is it? Do you respect authority, or are you skeptical of authority? What do your opinion seems, and your ideology seems to change no matter, based on whatever topic you're bringing up and whatever point you're trying to make at the time. But you're inconsistent, and you know what? Part of that problem is because you're not being honest. You're just trying to talk in terms of spin. How can I relate to this topic, and in a way that gets my point across, as opposed to actually, how can I actually respond to this topic in a human way? It, that is why you're insufferable, and that is why people don't like you.